Everyone, here's a first look at the art journal page we're making in this video. I'm working in my Large Dilutions art journal, and I'm applying a few different colors of Dina Wake's Media paint onto my background. I'm starting out by putting the lightest color of pink, and then using the darker pink to blend into it, and I'm also going back to that lighter color and mixing it with my brush so that I have several different tones and values of this color pink. And then I will let it dry 100% before I begin gluing down my tissue paper. Now I'm using this silicone brush when I do this because I find when I'm working with tissue paper, it likes to wrinkle, likes to crinkle, and I prefer it to be 100% smooth. And the way I found to do this is by using gel medium, which is designed for tissue paper, and also this silicone brush, and I'm able to make it 100% smooth, and then I let this dry. Now after I have all the tissue in place, I'm going in with another color of paint, and I'm just painting around all the tissue papers with this yellow. And then I'm also going to go in with a little bit of coral paint and blend that in as well. Now the idea of doing this is that I'm creating like a mosaic patchwork with this butterfly tissue and also the paint. The names of all the products and colors that I'm using today are listed in the description below, so check that out for more information about any of the products that I'm using to create this art journal page. So as I mentioned, I'm going in with the coral now, and when I'm 100% happy with that, I let it dry, and now I'm going to stamp in between all of the tissue papers with black archival ink, which is a waterproof ink, which is perfect when you're doing any kind of layering, because as I add products later, this stamping will not move. And after I have all those gaps filled in with the flowers, I'm going in with my ruler so I have perfectly straight lines, and I'm creating sun rays. And as to do this, all you do is make a bunch of lines, and then you only fill in with the paint every other gap, and this will create a perfect sun ray all along your page. After that paint is 100% dry, I'm tracing it with my Posca paint pen in orange. And then I'm going to begin doing some stenciling. Now I'm stenciling with a mini blending tool, this is my favorite way to stencil, and some black gesso. So this black gesso is very, very black, and it will dry matte, which is perfect for what I'm going to be doing later and adding to these flowers. So I'm just going to go over a majority of the stencil with this black gesso, and then I will let that dry for several hours before I do any pen work, because if you go in too soon with your pens, you could damage them. So like I say, several hours have passed, and now I'm going in with my white signal pen, and I'm going to just trace all of the stenciling that I've done previously with this white pen. And I'm not being 100% accurate, I'm just doing this very roughly, and then I will let the pen work dry. Now I need to create an area that I can collage onto, because as you can see, my background is quite wild, and I need to kind of tap that back a little bit so that I can continue adding and collaging. So my way of doing that is using my paintbrush and that original same pink color that I used in the beginning of the background to just make some marks with my paintbrush. And I did this across the entire center of the page, and then I'm doing the same exact thing with white paint, and then once again with that same pink paint to create this area of relief that I can collage onto, and it won't be lost in the chaos of the background. Now I'm going in with a stamp set from Vicky Bouton, and it says Sunshine and Good Vibes, and I'm stamping this once again with archival ink onto my area that I've created here. Of course, it is 100% dry, because if I was stamping into wet paint, that would be a disaster. So it is dry. I'm also using the butterfly stamp from that exact same stamp set, and I'm stamping it 3 times onto some scratch paper, and then I'm going to paint it in with 2 different colors of paint. And all these butterflies are going to be different. I'm also using my finger to kind of blend and mix the paints within the butterfly to create unique colors. And then when they're 100% dry, I will cut them out with my scissors so I can collage them onto my page. I'm gluing everything down with Distress Collage Medium, and I am just placing these 3 butterflies on my page in different areas. And the third butterfly I actually cut in half, so half of it is on the right side and half of it is on the left side, flying into the page. The final element to complete this page, I'm grabbing some baby pink Nuvo crystal drops, which is a 3D element that as you place it on the page, it will dry exactly how you place it. So it will be dimensional, like you see here. It takes about 30 minutes to dry, so I always do that as one of my last steps. And I'm just placing them sporadically around the focal point to add some more interest. And with that, my page is complete. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got ideas to use in your own artwork. Please take a picture or a video and post it and tag me so that I can check out what you're working on. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and check out these other suggested videos. And then also hit subscribe so you don't miss anything we post in the future.